Practical tips and useful advice. This is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Thursday, April 16th, the 107th day of the year. Screen legend Charlie Chaplin was born on this day, and Walter Cronkite began his tenure behind the CBS Evening News anchor desk in 1962. If you're concerned about connected devices in your home and the information they collect, be careful the next time you replace your toothbrush. New smart toothbrushes can track your brushing habits and detect plaque buildup. Shaving companies are hoping to get in on the act, too. Bic has unveiled a smart shaver that will track hair density, blade wear, and other shaving habits in order to, as they put it, deliver a more personalized shave. If you find the trend a little intrusive, you don't want to know what Charmin is working on. That is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Find more fun facts at almanac.com.
Lou Mandeville here with a look at sports. First confirmed case of coronavirus in the NFL has happened. Center Brian Allen of the Los Angeles Rams has tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. The 24-year-old was working out at the Rams facility, rehabbing an injury, had become symptomatic and is feeling better, but tested positive for the virus. On this date, April 16th, very important date in retrospect, 1929, the New York Yankees become the first team to wear uniform numbers. 1939, Stanley Cup Final, Boston Garden. Boston Bruins beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1 for a 4-1 series win in the best-of-7 Stanley Cup Final. And just 1 year ago today, Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson becomes the highest-paid player in NFL history with a 4-year, $140 million contract extension, including a record $65 million signing bonus. That is your look at sports. Throw in sports. I'm Lou Mandeville.
One Boston Day yesterday, a day to honor victims of the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing, took on a coronavirus theme as Boston Mayor Marty Walsh declared the day would be viewed in retrospect as a turning point in the fight against the spread of the virus.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email at joe@onesocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel on ON 1240, WOON One Socket Radio.
We say good morning to you. It is Coffee In on ON AM and FM, 1240 AM, 99.5 FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. My name is Joe Callahan, and I will now introduce the people on the Coffee In panel today. We'll say good morning to Bob Lotter. Hi, Bob.
Good morning, Joe. Good to be with you.
Good to have you here with us. North Smithfield Town Administrator Gary Izoski is with us as well. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, all.
Yeah, but Gary's a little loud.
Sorry.
There you go. Well, you got a very strong voice, Gary.
Okay.
I thought it was a sports jacket. I didn't realize that.
And we're also being joined on the phone by Donna Kaler, Director of Keep the Blackstone Valley Beautiful. Good morning to you, Donna.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Donna gave us a call a little earlier in the week, and she said, I need to come on and talk about something important for a few minutes. So we let her come on, and what she wants to talk about is basically it's Keep the Blackstone Valley Beautiful, and we're having some issues, aren't we, Donna?
We are. We're having some issues with litter, and we want to keep the Blackstone Valley litter-free, and now it's more important than ever.
Okay, what are you seeing? Is there something most popping up on the ground that you're seeing lately?
Well, we are seeing a lot of, the gloves and masks and things that are being used for protecting us from the coronavirus being littered. Usually during this time of year, we are doing Earth Day cleanup and going out and having volunteers go out in the communities, cleaning up all the litter on our streets. Yearly, these collect tons and tons of litter from our streets in Rhode Island. But unfortunately this year, we cannot do the cleanups. Safety reasons, we have postponed all the Earth Day cleanups. So just wanted to bring awareness to if people continue to litter, unfortunately at this point, we're not going to get things cleaned up. it's just going to sit there. And we want to just think about what happens if you throw something on the ground as litter. It doesn't go away.
Are you asking people to, just police the front of their homes at this time, and just if there is any litter out there, just pick it up and throw it away?
That's a great start. That is a great start. Just if we all take care of our property frontage, we would clean up so much of the litter. A lot of these back roads it's really up to us to clean up anyway. No one else is out there cleaning this. But the biggest thing is actually just don't litter. Keep it in the car. When you're in the parking lots and you're shopping at Stop and Shop and the different grocery stores, take those gloves and just put them in your car, even if you don't have a trash can, or put a little trash can in your car. But we cannot leave them in parking lots. We cannot leave it on the ground. We know that litter takes years and years to break down. Plastic bags are 15 to 20 years. Plastic bottles up to 450 years. So, if we put this stuff out there and it's not picked up, it's just going to break down into smaller pieces but never really go away.
Gary, are you getting any phone calls at North Smithfield Town Hall of people complaining about either the gloves or the mask or just litter in general at the Town Hall?
Joe, I don't think I've had any calls over that, but I've certainly seen it and been very disappointed by it. I picked up gloves right around Town Hall, in fact, and find that very disappointing that people who, are judiciously trying to take care of themselves are not considerate of others as they do it. We need everybody to think about themselves and others and, take care.
I remember years ago visiting around town lots of municipal trash cans for litter. They used to have little slogans on them, tip my hat for a cleaner Woonsocket. I don't see those any longer. Is there a reason why we don't have them about?
I don't know. That's a good question, Bob. Something that we would have to ask the mayor on that. So keep it in the back of your mind for a couple of weeks from now when we have the mayor.
Right. Folks, may I interject? This is Dave Richards. We recently had a telephone call from a listener who heard Mayor Baldelli Hunt when she was on the Coffee and Show. And the mayor mentioned that if you're out for a walk, the city will give you these little pickup arms that you can use to pick up litter along the way.
That's correct.
And just in case someone's interested in that, I have the telephone number right here on the control board, so I'll repeat it. If you're in Woonsocket and you want one of those little picker-upper things that they use, it's 767-9216. But getting to the point, the listener called in saying that they're doing a lot more walking now, of course, and they in their neighborhood, they walk around, and in a day or so, the place is littered with trash again. And the point that she was making when she called me is that you wouldn't believe what people are throwing away. It's not just like cigarette butts and wrappers and stuff. It's like whole bags from McDonald's. She says, I've never seen so many little bottles for the nips, the little alcoholic beverages that they put in these very small bottles like you used to see on airplanes. The nips, of course, it's illegal to be drinking while you're driving, but you get caught with one of those open ones in the car. You're in Dutch. So what are they doing? They're throwing it out the window. So she says, it's an alarming that the change of the types of litter that's hitting the side of the road. Donna, are you seeing that where you are?
Oh, definitely. The nips. The little containers are everywhere. Bigger bottles we find. I live on Log Road, and it's crazy. It's not a cut-through road, and we find a lot of alcoholic beverage bottles, as well as the other plastic bags or the takeout bags from McDonald's and the fast food places, which I don't understand because that's not a big thing to bring home, I don't think. Maybe other bottles are, but we just really have to just keep this stuff in the car, find a trash can, and again, the plastic doesn't break down, so it's going to sit there for a long time. We just cleaned our road, and again, in 2 or 3 days, it was littered again. So people are still littering, and I just think sometimes they're just not aware of what happens to the litter. So that's what we really want to do today, is just bring awareness, saying this is a real problem for our communities, for our environment. It brings dangerous chemicals and different things into the environment. Just leaving litter on the ground, especially corona potential waste, could be very dangerous. So we just really asking, please don't litter. If you see someone litter, please explain to them how important it is not to. And we can fix this. I mean, that's, I think, the other thing. I feel at this time there's so many problems we can't take charge of, but this is something we really can fix. And it is Earth Day, and it's our 50th anniversary, so we just want to encourage everyone to think about what they can do for our environment. This is a simple, and I really think once we think about it, we'll take charge and help out.
All right, very good. Donna Kaler. Oh, good. Bob, you had a question?
I was going to say, do you think it's more of a societal attitude? I mean, if we travel to some foreign countries, for example, Austria or Germany, you find almost no litter anywhere on the street. And yet, over here, it's endemic. Any idea why they do so well and we don't?
Well, actually, it's interesting. My son has been living in Germany for years now, so I get to see firsthand. He's always taking pictures of the way that they handle the trash over in that country versus how we do it here, and the litter. And it is very exciting when you go there and just see a beautiful community and not littered. And it really just makes you enjoy it more. But it is their mindset. They just, I don't know, they just have the mindset that they want to take care of their community, and they're part of a bigger picture. And we are part of our community, and we all need to be part of this. So maybe if we can just think about, helping out where we can, this is I feel, such a simple way to help our community.
All right, very good. Donna Kaler, Director of Keep the Blackstone Valley Beautiful. Thanks for joining us this morning on Coffee In with the very simple reminder, please don't litter. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care. All right, we're still here with Bob Lotter, and North Smithfield Town Administrator Gary Yazowski is still with us. And so, Gary, a couple of days ago, there was an accident at CT Gas right there on Great Road and 146A. So, did anybody get injured in that you know of?
That one didn't come through to me. So I wasn't aware of it, so can't help you there. Sorry.
Okay, not a problem. So, Gary, how are things holding up in your town with the coronavirus? Are you hearing about it, any cases, or are things pretty stable right now?
Well, we work with cases every day. I've been participating in the phone calls with other municipal leaders, as well as with the governor's office, and the Department of Health, EMA, and such. It's been a great effort around the state to share information and ideas and practices. And what I get from that, what I've learned from that, we're fortunate in that we're a smaller community, and I think just population is in our favor, but it doesn't mean that we are isolated from it. We have 10 positive cases in town, according to the Board of Health, and that has we've gone from the less than 5 category to having 10 as of yesterday, and we went from that less than 5 to 10 in just over a week, or maybe close to 2 weeks. So we've done a good job, I think, of keeping ourselves from infection, but we need to do better. We need to be perfect at this, and it's so hard. So there are cases in town. We don't know the specifics. The HIPAA rules prevent the distribution of that information. I have been arguing or asking, I should say, for that information to be made known to our fire and police departments, so that if they respond, and I've been an advocate for this to be made available, for the information to be made available across the state, so that all EMS personnel and first responders can know what they're going into if they go into a business or a home or whatever the case might be, that they're able to amply protect themselves. Because one of the things that everyone knows, that this whole thing, in hitting the world, has caused a demand for the personal protective equipment, or PPE, worldwide, to a point that there isn't an abundance of this material everywhere, and our first responders have to be judicial about how they use it. They can't just, keep donning it and disposing of it every 15 minutes. They need to be careful about the use of that. So it's a balance. But the long and the short of it, we're not immune. I was happier when I saw that the town, for as long as once the Department of Health was putting forward information about the number of cases in each community, and we were in the less than 5 for quite an amount of time. Then we got to 5 and then 6, and now we're at 10. So it's around us. We need to be vigilant and careful, considerate, and try to continue to work our way through this.
All right, we're going to take our first break on the Coffee and program. If you have any comments or questions, you can call them in to 766-1240 or email them in to me, joe@woonsocketradio.com.
These days, we all probably know of a local business that is struggling to adapt to the current realities. Here's a small way that you can help.
Announcing the Gift Card Challenge.
If you're able, think of your favorite local business and then buy a gift card today.
Buy it online or pledge to buy one as soon as you can.
Every little bit will help.
Restaurants have takeout or delivery. Many businesses have online shopping options.
Participate in the Gift Card Challenge today.
Buy a gift card.
Any amount, and show your support for our local businesses in this time of need.
Keep it for yourself to use at a later date, or pass it along to someone you know that's on the front lines doing what they can to keep us all safe.
Make the pledge and buy a gift card today.
Participate in the Gift Card Challenge.
Post and tag the business you selected on social media and challenge your friends and neighbors to do the same.
Working together, one card at a time, we can all make a difference.
This important message about supporting our local businesses is sponsored by Robert N. Chamberlain, CPA of North Smithfield. Visit them online at chamberlainco.com.
When it comes to emergency service for plumbing and heating, you can't beat C.J. Nemus, 37 Corey Street in Woonsocket. C.J. Nemus offers over 15 years of experience and is licensed in both Rhode Island and Massachusetts. C.J. Nemus offers complete heating system service, plumbing, water heaters, plus drain and sewer cleaning. Remember that senior citizens receive a 10% discount. So give Charlie a call today at C.J. Nemus, 769-4776. They're registered with the Better Business Bureau. They're a master plumber with quality service. It's the only way and the best way. With C.J. Nemus, call today, 769-4776 for C.J. Nemus. I'm here with Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency in North Smithfield. Celeste, tell me about the Benjamin Agency.
Most of our business is providing home and auto insurance. However, we feel the most important thing is to insure people. Everyone insures their home, their autos, which are really just objects. I don't know if you know this, Dave, but only 57% of Americans even have life insurance. You may get into an accident, you may have a claim on your home, but life insurance is a guaranteed payout for your family. We are here to keep your family going. Our family serving your family.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Radio. It is Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is Joe Callahan here with Bob Lotter and also North Smithfield Town Administrator Gary Izoski is with us as well. And, hey, Bob.
Yes.
We have a message from the audience with a question for you. Dave will now read it. Dave?
Hello. To the attorney. It's a serious one, actually. It says, can families of loved ones who have passed away from coronavirus while being residents of nursing homes, file a class action suit for negligence?
I would believe the answer to that would be yes. However, I think that the individual would first want to talk to attorneys that specialize or have a area of concentration in medical malpractice cases. But yes, I would believe that, and in fact, I believe there are several that I've heard of outside of the state of Rhode Island. I don't know how easy it would be to win such a case, because I think you'd have the burden of trying to prove that the nursing home was negligent and was not acting in a manner that was consistent with medical services provided elsewhere in the community. But I certainly think it can be done. And if someone is interested in considering that, I would suggest they contact law firms that deals with medical malpractice cases.
All right. Good answer there, Bob. I'm thinking, not in Rhode Island, but that veterans home that's out in Holyoke, Massachusetts, that's had 30 people pass away from the virus out there. They may be hit with lawsuits, don't you think?
I think it's a very serious possibility, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a nursing home down in Virginia which has a high number of deaths, and I believe a lawsuit has been instituted against them. I think I saw that in the either the New York Times or the BBC news feeds recently.
Okay. Do you know if that nursing home has closed down because of the deaths, or are they still in operation?
The news articles seem to indicate that they were still in operation.
Were they? Oh, well, okay then. We did have a clarification from the governor yesterday, and this affects a lot of people, but it affects a lot of people in North Smithfield, Gary, because North Smithfield residents were concerned because we're right on the border of Massachusetts, and I know you would like everyone in town to do their grocery shopping either at Bridget O's or at Stop and Shop, but for some it was just more convenient to go over the line into Blackstone and go to Park and Shop. And originally the governor said that those people that did that, when they came back into Rhode Island, would have to self-quarantine for 14 days. Well, she has changed her mind on that one. And if people do go into Massachusetts to do some grocery shopping and come back, they do not have to self-quarantine for 14 days.
That's true. And that has been a subject in some of our conversations with other municipal leaders for border communities. It hasn't been raised to me here. The places where it has been more of a topic have been on the East Bay, over the eastern side of the state with Seekonk, East Providence, Tiverton, and the nearby communities in Massachusetts. The governor did soften her position, but she's also encouraged people that we need to be smart. We're trying to keep our conditions stable and reducing, and all it takes is one person to be cavalier, and we wind up with just a continuation of this. So those are difficult calls. I was happy to see her soften that. We got folks that are literally inches from facilities across the line, just about, or maybe 100, 200 feet. So it does apply here, and I think it's a rational decision. What we don't want is people running into areas that are known to have higher concentrations and being exposed.
Gary, I saw on the news last night that there had been a significant rally out in Detroit where hundreds of people blocked streets and were protesting against the social distancing and isolation and urging the governor out there to reopen everything. Have you sensed much of a feeling in your community regarding reopening businesses at this time?
Well, again, I haven't had any calls on it. I in social media, there are folks who have questions questioned the whole philosophy of the social distancing and stay-at-home orders. This is just so uncharted. You read some things that say that some areas fared better than others in the pandemic back in the early 1900s because they did social distance. Others say no, it didn't work. We're blazing our own path, I think, in this. And from what I see in the paper this morning, there's maybe some hope that we'll see indications today that perhaps we have ventured into a time where things will be heading downward. That would be what we all need to hope for, I guess, is that we see that it however it happens, whether it's because of the social distancing or the warmer weather or, I don't know. We just need to get this behind us. The economic, I continue to be a member of the boards of directors of a couple of financial institutions, two related financial institutions. And when this first happened, I asked the leadership there what their thoughts were in terms of how much of this shutdown is going to be as damaging or more damaging in the long run than the exposure to the virus itself. So, Bob, I've had my own wonders about this, but I think we've chosen, our leaders have chosen a direction. We need to follow that direction and hope that it works for us all. Because if we work against one another, I think it just will get us nowhere.
Okay, Dave has another comment from the audience about the whole trash situation. So, Dave, let's hear that comment.
Called into the station, Joe. Caller says about the trash and the litter problem, it comes down to laziness.
Yes, it does. Or thoughtlessness.
Well, certainly.
A little bit of both, I guess.
Although, as I was saying with someone a short time ago, we do acknowledge the fact that it's not as easy as it was back in the 60s to combat, the litter problem. This station, our station, WOON, for many, many, many years, going back before I can remember, before I was here, used to purchase tens of thousands of litter bags and give them away at, festivals and fairs and events. One of the first several autumn fests, we were giving them away. But we found that people didn't have any place to put them inside their cars. They had the hole there. You used to put it on the radio knob or the heater knob or something like that. And then you'd always just put your stuff in there, and that give you a place to put the gum wrapper or whatever it was that you were doing. But then, of course, as time went along, the safety people said, oh, no, these knobs on cars, they're no good. You can't have knobs that stick out on the dashboard of a car. So eventually those all get designed away, so they're not there. And we found that people were telling us, well, there's no place to put them in the car. I said, well, can you put them on the knob to, run the window up and down? Well, I've got electric doors and windows. So that got to be a little bit more of a problem. And before those flimsy little giveaway bags we used to give them, there used to be those plastic containers that had the sand saddlebags on them that would sit on the hump between the two seats in the front of the seat of the car. And that was very nice, but then they took the humps away in a lot of models. And they stopped making those. I guess they couldn't sell enough of them. Whatever the situation is, we understand it's not as easy, but that's where it comes to using your noodle. And you gotta put some effort into it.
You do, and what I've seen done is some of the plastic bags that you do get from grocery stores, if you can still find them, you can attach them to the basically the stick shift in between the car seats.
Sure, if you can do that without it coming down underneath your legs while you drive, that'd be great.
You try to put it on put the bag part onto the passenger side.
I'm sure that's popular with the passenger.
Well, it's things they have to deal with to have the bag in the car. So.
We'll run that by the board of directors and see if the fabulous Denise likes the idea.
Well, Dave and Joe, I think the caller is right, though. I agree with you. I mean, so much has changed in all of these little aids. But I mean, think about it. I mean, much of the material that we wind up finding on the side of the road oftentimes is in a bag. It came in a bag from a restaurant, one of the fast foods or whatever, and people just, it's carelessness. It really is just it's a societal thing that is I think it's less about devices and more about attitude. And we need people to care about what the world looks like. I like to be a little more understanding, I think, of folks as much as possible, but this is something that it's really just ridiculous that people continue to do this. And there was a piece recently, I don't know, I think in social media about a person finding the same litter on daily at the same point, where it's not an accident
that's deliberate.
It's somebody that gets their latte at 7 o'clock and at 7:08 has finished it, and they're at a particular point, and out the window it goes. That's disgusting. It's really unfortunate.
It is. It's laziness. And laziness, and just people saying, well, it's not in my yard, so I don't care. And, out the window it goes. So maybe we need to bring back those PSAs from the 1970s with the crying Native American.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody remember the jingle? Litter bug, shame on you.
That I don't remember.
There's a memory. Yeah, that'd be before your time, Joe.
Okay.
Maybe Bob would remember.
We need to bring back that PSA.
Yeah, we used to have those here at the station. Yeah. Litter bug, shame on you. Look at the terrible things you do. Oh, well.
All right. We're going to take a break right now on the Coffee AM program and bring in the weather forecast, which is being sponsored by CVS.
It's snowing on Park Avenue.
Are you kidding me?
What?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh. All right. Dave says it's snowing on Park Ave. There is a chance of rain and snow showers this morning. Chance of rain showers through most of the morning, though. Eventually becomes partly sunny with a high temperature near 49. Could be windy today as well. Tonight, mostly cloudy during the early evening. Eventually becomes clear, low of 29. Friday, we'll have sunny skies in the morning with increasing clouds in the afternoon, high near 51. Friday night, rain before midnight, low around 34. Saturday, another mixture of rain and snow likely, all in the morning. Mostly cloudy, high near 42. Sunday, mostly sunny, and a high near 58. Currently outside the Navigating Credit Union broadcast studio, the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, where we have cloudy skies. Dave says it's snowing, and temperature reading of 39, Dave?
42.
42 it is. Get free 1 to 2 day delivery of prescriptions and store essentials from CVS. Visit them online or call your local CVS to learn more. Restrictions apply. More Coffee Ants coming up. Stay tuned. The Honey Shop on Winthrop Street and on Park Avenue, both in Woonsocket, are open. The Bellingham location is currently closed. Kathy and her staff remind you to be safe at this time. If you visit the Facebook page of The Honey Shop, you can read the Honey Shop Help Series. These are a series of helpful hints on how you can stay safe and healthy during the pandemic. The Honey Shop offers a number of natural health products, including Breathe, which can help with respiratory issues. Stop in today to either Woonsocket location to find out more. If you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop.
And the Honey Shop has hand and surface sanitizing spray, plus medical-grade gloves in limited quantities. The Honey Shop.
And let me just add a little something more to that ad there, folks. Yesterday, after hearing that ad, we went to the Honey Shop here at the Park Square location because it's closest to us. And not only were we able to buy the lilac sanitizer, very, very nice stuff, we were also able to buy a box of gloves. They have them in large size. That's important. But they also had masks. Fashion masks, very, very attractive. We bought one for the fabulous Denise, and very comfortable. A little bit better than the flimsy paper stuff that you're buying in bulk. It's one at a time you're buying, and it's all at the Honey Shop at both locations.
There's a new feature at valleybreeze.com that will make it easier to find the business or deal you're looking for, as well as share their ads with family and friends. Head to valleybreeze.com. At the right, find This Week's Ads. Click it and you'll see all the ads that were in the Breeze's 5 newspapers. Maybe you've finished with your paper or are recalling an ad you noticed a few days ago. Just use the search function and the ad is right there, ready to be printed or shared. Merchants, share your ads on social media. The Valley Breeze. Our mission is your success.
All right, it is Coffee In here on ON Radio. I'm Joe Callahan here with North Smithfield Town Administrator Gary Zosky and Attorney Bob Lauder. And Bob, time for your first message from your law office, please.
Good morning. Thank you. I'd like to speak with you this morning about some of the plans you can make for your future while staying socially distant in your home. And of course, if you've been listening to these advertisements, you'll anticipate that I'll be talking about estate planning. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought to our attention an anxiety about our future and a reasonable concern for our loved ones in the event that we're not able to personally experience that future. In thinking about our lives of a loved one following our death, it's prudent to consider how the assets of our lifetime will be distributed after our death. If we take no action at all, that distribution will be made in accordance with the laws of distribution in the state of residence. In Rhode Island, the laws grant certain rights to our spouse and children, and a distribution being determined by whether or not the asset is real property or whether it is personal property. However, the plans established by the General Assembly of the state do not adequately address everyone's personal situation. It does not take into account partners, whether of the same sex or opposite sex relationships. It does not take into account stepchildren who have not been lawfully adopted. It does not take into account one's close friends and charities to whom one may have an allegiance. In summary, the best way to ensure that your loved ones receive the bequest you desire is to sit down and prepare an estate plan now. In my next message, I'll discuss some of the decisions you'll experience when you're making that plan. If you think my office may be assistance to you in this or other legal matters, please call me for a telephone conference. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license and certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob, thank you. And we do have a message that has been emailed into me, and you can send one as well, joe@onesocketradio.com. And the caller says, these numbers came out on Tuesday. Approximately 25,000 people tested in Rhode Island, approximately 22,000 with negative results. That's about 90% that tested negative. To the point, a flu is considered a virus. Complications can occur, leading to more serious infections, pneumonia, and other respiratory diseases. Most common cases can be cured through medication and physician's examinations. Is there a known vaccine for the flu, which is a virus? No. COVID-19, also identified as a virus, has the similar symptoms as the flu and can lead to the same complications as the flu. Now, is there a vaccine for COVID-19? No. Point being, both viruses are quite similar. So the question is, are we overreacting with all these drastic restrictions pertaining to COVID-19? Anyone want to jump in there first?
Gee, I would think that would have to be based primarily on a medical background to make a reasonable answer to a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. Gary, as the leader there, of North Smithfield, do you think we're overreacting?
Oh, there's certainly a chance that we are, but I don't think that there is enough data or science to be able to say also that we are. So it's that we are or we aren't. We're feeling our way through this as a society, and I think we have to believe in our society rather than any other perspective. Hopefully, we see some data shortly that changes those numbers that the caller just referenced, and we get back to something that resembles normal activities. We need to, as I said earlier. I mean, the situation of the financial impact that this shutdown will have clearly will bring with it other health-related issues. So where is the tipping point? I don't know. I mean, I wish I could. I don't think anybody has everything they need to be able to answer that question. I'm not sure that we'll ever know. Hopefully, what this all results in is a vaccine at some point, and we look back with curious eyes to be able to analyze it, and some bright people will figure out what to do in the future. That's what I hope we learn from this, is what to do in the future.
Sure thing. Now, not being a medical person myself, it does seem similar, COVID-19, to the flu, but it just seems to me a lot more advanced. It seems to be far more contagious than the flu, and it's spreading much more widespread than the flu does, and it attacks a lot harsher than the flu, even though they seem to be similar.
True, and I think just listening to you, and I'm thinking that this isn't something that just happened in North Smithfield, and North Smithfield reacted to it with a measure that is unprecedented. This is the world. I mean, it's a worldwide circumstance where health officials across the world, and that's not to say everyone, but it certainly seems to be, in my view, the majority of our health leadership that has taken a position that you have to, do everything you can to distance and shut this thing down. So I think we have to believe in the methods that have been chosen to resist this, and not look back. Certainly there are. I mean, you talked earlier about the impacts in nursing homes with the question from the caller. I mean, there are some nursing homes in Rhode Island that have experienced just overwhelming and challenges and disappointments. And I'm sure each of you has been into different elderly care facilities over the years, and you marvel at the way that the individuals in those facilities care for the patients. I mean, they are special people, and it's true in every one. And to have these circumstances come about where multiple people in the same nursing home have passed away, allegedly because with attribution to this virus, it's mean. We've got to try to just push on through with consideration that everybody's trying their best.
And they are, Gary. You're right about that. And I have, my mother is in an assisted living facility. Can't go see her. She can't leave, and we can't get in. And we jokingly say amongst the siblings that mom's in prison right now. Nice prison. And
that's tough. I only learned last week prior to sending out my newsletter on Friday that the St. Antoine home here in North Smithfield claims itself to be the largest such facility in the state by number of beds. And they've been, until last Thursday anyway, had been COVID-free. And, they are, being very, very rigid in what they do. They won't allow from what I understand, they won't allow their patients to receive packages out of concern that the package could be the way that something comes in. And, are they, they've been good. God, knock on wood, whatever it takes, that I hope they continue. I certainly don't want to have this conversation be the reason things change. But, I hope they can continue, and it is their methods that have made them successful. Who knows, maybe it's simply good fortune. One way or the other, though, your mom is being protected right now from the possibility that you bring her the virus. That's really
correct.
Yeah.
We're lucky, Gary, because we do have Melissa Smith from the St. Antoine Communities, comes on Coffee and every Monday, and she gives us an update every week on how things are going over there at the Villa, and she's very happy to report that there are no cases of COVID-19. So
it's absolutely amazing. because it is everywhere. It doesn't know any boundaries. But how they've done it, it may be that there's a case study right there that needs to be thought about and analyzed to again, learn for the future.
I would imagine in great part it is due to their very rigid standards of not allowing people in and trying to make sure that there's no contact between their patients and someone who might have the virus.
Could be. Yeah.
By the way, gentlemen, this is Dave. In today's Woonsocket Call, there's a front page story. It moves into the inner portions of the paper. Quite extensive story from Joe Nato about the villa. And even a picture of our Melissa Smith with her boss sitting on a park bench clad in masks and gloves at the villa. And it's in today's edition of the Call. Thought I'd just point that out.
Great.
All right, Dave. Thank you very much about that. All right, before we get into the next subject, let's take our final break. So let's get a second message from Bob Lauder, and then we'll move things along. So it's up to you now, Bob.
Thank you. A few minutes ago, I suggested that now, more than ever before, it may be prudent for an individual to prepare a well-considered and well-drafted estate plan. And by this I mean either a last will and testament or a last will and testament accompanied by a trust instrument, which sets out your desires in a valid and lawful manner. And to accomplish this goal, it's frequently wiser to consult with an attorney than to attempt to fill out forms available on the Internet. When one is thinking about estate planning, one should first itemize the assets one possesses. These may include real estate which you reside, other real estate which you may own, for example, a lot of land or a summer cabin, any business that you may own, what investments you may have made, either in bank accounts or retirement accounts, IRAs, 401ks, investments in stocks or bonds or mutual funds, or similar assets. What unusual property you may own, sports card collections or memorabilia, artwork, stamp or coin collection, antiques, and who along with you has title to any of these items. Then one should consider, who do you want the items to pass? Do you want to divide some of the items among various individuals or entities? If you're thinking of multiple beneficiaries, what percentage of the total assets do you desire to leave to each beneficiary? What happens if the beneficiary you've selected dies before you do? Where does the bequest go then? If you want to leave assets to someone who is still a minor or disabled, who will take care of the bequest for that individual? In the case of the minor, when do you want the beneficiary to receive control of the bequest? I don't expect anyone listening to this message would know immediately the answers to these questions. It may require some thought, and those decisions may be helped by consulting with an attorney. If you think my office may be assistance to you in this or other legal matters, please call me for a telephone conference. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court is not licensed to certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. More of the Coffee and program is coming your way on ON Radio.
Almost everyone has a favorite entree at Chan's Fine Oriental Dining. Mongolian steak, General Tso's chicken, sea jip shrimp, or one of their excellent lo mein entrees. They serve 12 varieties of chow mein and chop suey, as well as 10 selections of fried or white rice, plus poo-poo platters for several persons. Chan's offers delivery 7 days a week, plus takeout and drive-through service. They're also available for catering in-house or on your premises. Chan's at 267 Main Street, Woonsocket, 765-1900.
These days, we all probably know of a local business that is struggling to adapt to the current realities. Here's a small way that you can help.
Announcing the Gift Card Challenge.
If you're able, think of your favorite local business and then buy a gift card today.
Buy it online or pledge to buy one as soon as you can.
Every little bit will help.
Restaurants have takeout or delivery. Many businesses have online shopping options.
Participate in the gift card challenge today.
Buy a gift card.
Any amount and show your support for our local businesses in this time of need.
Keep it for yourself to use at a later date or pass it along to someone you know that's on the front lines doing what they can to keep us all safe.
Make the pledge and buy a gift card today.
Participate in the gift card challenge.
Post and tag the business you selected on social media and challenge your friends and neighbors to do the same.
Working together, one card at a time, we can all make a difference.
This important message about supporting our local businesses is sponsored by iConnection Agency of North Smithfield. Visit them online at iConnectionRI.com.
Do you remember the 20th century? If you do, you should be listening to Do You Remember weekday mornings on ON Radio. Hi, everyone. This is John W., and you know what they say? If you don't use it, you lose it. So share your memories with me and your friends Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. That's the Do You Remember program right here and only on ON, AM, and FM radio.
John, and I'm Joe Callahan here with Bob Lauder, and North Smithfield Town Administrator Gary Izoski is with us as well. With the whole pandemic going on now, Gary, has this put a stop to any of the DOT projects that were going on in North Smithfield?
What I've learned, I haven't seen anything specific, Joe, but DOT is moving forward with work that contractors and their personnel can continue to do while adhering to the social distancing practices. So my expectation is, yes, that it probably has slowed things down, but don't have anything finite to say that everything is stopped. We did have a demolition project take place at the 146 bridges over Greenville Road. I guess it was 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, and that went smoothly and indicated things are continuing to go. It's hard to say exactly what's going to happen with every one of the projects.
Okay. Bob, and we got word yesterday that, a lot of people received their stimulus check from the government yesterday. It fell into their bank accounts, for lack of a better way of saying it. And but then the word came out, the scammers once again are out there looking to steal your money. And so they're just, Rhode Island State Police were just warning you to be vigilant with what you do with the information that you give out, either online or over the phone, or even in person. Some of these scammers actually come to your door. So you got to be vigilant about the whole thing. And the one I read about most recently, and Bob, you may not know about this one. Gary, you may. It's been making the rounds on Facebook. And I thought it was odd when it started, but then I saw a lot of people doing it. And they said, due to the fact that, high school and college graduations may be canceled this year, people saying, why don't you post your high school graduation picture and the year and the in the school that you went to in support of the students graduating this year? And I'm like, I don't know how that supports the 2020 graduates. Why would they care about my picture from my high school? So I just passed it off. But I saw a lot of people doing it. Have you heard about this, Bob?
No, and I don't envision how that scam would work unless you are paying to have your photograph posted.
Well, this is how the scam works. And police departments, including Woonsocket, and I've seen a few others that have posted, do not do this. Because what they're doing, what the scammers are doing, is they're collecting information. Now the scammer knows your name, it knows what high school you went to, and it knows what year you graduated from. And that information is sometimes used as security questions.
Right.
What high school did you go to? And so now they have that information.
Well, this is Dave. I wouldn't want anybody seeing my high school graduation picture anyway. I've outgrown it.
Well, when I first saw it, I'm like, like I said before, I don't know why anyone from 2020's graduating class wants to see my high school graduation.
No, there's just a tremendous amount of scams. Can I just say one more thing? Yesterday we learned of some really aggressive, incredibly well done, if you can use that term, hacks of email servers and emails that were being put out. I received one from a guy that I know very well who said, this is what we were talking about last month, and it gave a link for me to click on. Now, I routinely get emails from this guy, look just like all that. In fact, they had added on an email that I had sent that guy on the bottom. So I recognized my own email. I saw the note from him, and I almost clicked on it.
Yeah.
Almost clicked on it. There wasn't any way for me to tell it wasn't real, except that I never click on anything that goes to a Google Drive because I know how insecure it is. Ever. We just, you know me, Joe, better than most folks, and I just don't care much for Google because it's not secure, you know. So I shy away from all that stuff, and I didn't, and it was a miracle because it was bad. Because 5 minutes afterwards, I got emails from this guy. Telling all of his friends, don't open anything I sent you. I didn't send it. And this happened with over 350 members of a trade organization that I know.
How did he even know?
Somebody hacked an email server, got information, and started crafting things up.
How did he know to warn?
Because he got a copy himself. Of what he sent me.
Okay.
And he knew he didn't send it. And there's a lawyer in the group, and the lawyer actually got legal advice given to him from his own office.
All right.
So they're getting very crafty folks, really scrutinize things. Better to say I'm sorry later if you don't respond than to respond to a hoax.
It's funny. I got one last week, I believe, and it was from the chairman of the Autumn Fest committee.
Right.
Looked like it came from him, had my name on it, and it basically said, I need your information. I need some information that only you can give me. So please reply. And so, I think the scammer wanted you to reply to the email.
Right.
And what I did instead is I gave him a call, and no, he wasn't looking for anything from me. And I said, well, this is what's going on, and he's like, looks like I've been hacked again.
They're gonna destroy email. By doing this sort of stuff. That's for sure. All right, there's one other thing, by the way. While you guys have been talking, the Valley Breeze newspapers for this week arrived, and I picked up the North Smithfield Blackstone Woonsocket edition, and Gary, there's a lot of nice stuff in here about North Smithfield. They got a picture on the front here of youngsters waiting for the Easter Bunny because you were able to pull that off, thank goodness.
Not me, but it was a Parks and Rec group.
Yeah, that's true. I know, but you're in charge, so take the bow. You'll get the whack if something goes wrong you didn't do. And hydrant flushing schedule is published here for North Smithfield.
Exactly.
And a nice story too by Lauren Clem about the power outages you had in the Slatersville area and down south off Route 5 during the recent storm. So a lot of stuff in there for North Smithfield residents in the Valley Breeze.
Thanks for mentioning the water system flushing. That's what I wanted to make sure to get out there. We're going to be doing that during the day this time with everyone home. We felt that there's options for folks as long as we let them know that we could do it in the daytime as opposed to overnight.
Sure. If they have time to send me an email on that, we'll make sure it gets extra special treatment on the radio, too.
How do they do that, Gary? Do they put extra pressure on the water to rush it through the pipes, or do they drain them, or how do they flush the site?
They open hydrants, Bob, to create flow circumstances that otherwise aren't happening. And in some ways, it tries to reverse the flow in the pipes where possible. But mostly, it's just a matter of trying to rush the water out to be able to eliminate the scale that forms on the inside of the pipes that can just build up over time.
Good.
All right, Gary, in your opinion, when you go out and you talk to some of the restaurants in North Smithfield that have decided to remain open with either takeout or delivery or both, how are they holding up during this time?
Well, what I haven't had conversations with individual restaurant owners, but I've been to one or two, three over the past couple of weeks for takeout, and they're active. They're aligned, so and they continue to do it. So my expectation is that they are either feeling reward from meeting a public need and skimming by, or they're finding that it is modestly beneficial to them. Either way, I think it's good. I'm happy to see them continuing to do it, and I think what I've seen is they've also gotten better and better at trying to manage lines and encouraging people to respect the social distancing rules at the same time. That's people learn how to adapt and work with what they have. So I commend them for it. I think it's great work.
Okay, are you hearing any situations or any issues from the big box stores that you have in town? Any problems over Walmart or over at Kohl's or Lowe's?
I got one concern about one of the locations that where a resident or a patron indicated they didn't feel that social distancing was being managed well in a particular area of a store, and because of the authority that comes to our local police department through the governor's action, we have the police officers go through to assess those circumstances and remind the operators of what their obligations are. We're doing the same thing in our parks. As you know, I haven't closed our local parks. I think it's a good alternative for a mom and a dad and kids to go out and throw a ball around or just run around in an open space while we're all in this circumstance. Cabin fever is getting to a lot of people, but our police are going through the parking lots and reminding people through the loudspeakers on their car and through interactions where necessary to maintain 6-foot distance. And as best I can see is I live here nearby Pacheco Park, so I observe what's happening and recognize that people are generally adhering. Every once in a while you see some folks that are a little less careful, but for the most part, I think we've done pretty well.
Okay, we've come to the end of the program, so we thank you very much for listening in. Thanks to Donna Kaler, the director of Keep the Blackstone Valley Beautiful, who joined us earlier today. She had a very simple message.